just added a bunch more factories, and now Go.go's going to be able to outproduce C, and C keeping 4 siege tanks back, and C looks like he's moving out here, and I really can't see Go.go breaking this contain unless he goes for some early dropships, and he's got 3 siege tanks, and he does have some vultures out in the field, but it looks like C is going to really get a seal on Go.go's base here. I think Go.go, after he did that first vulture sneak, I think he should have started producing a lot more tanks. I think he should have had at least 5. I mean, C's got his tank count doubled, and now that C's got the contain out, he's going to be able to catch up to Go.go's factory count.
Yeah, I think he definitely should have transitioned to the tanks earlier, but there, that's with that side entrance there, this contain is not really that effective. I mean, really, what are you containing the other player for? I guess just so that they can't take their third or they can't attack you, and Go.go wasn't really going to be attacking C anyway, and he can still easily take his third because he can just sneak vultures out through that other expansion. Okay, looks like C might actually go for a break here. Hopefully he doesn't hit that mine. No, tanks do enough damage. There's a lot of tanks for C. He's really got a huge tank advantage. But Go.go with good positioning, getting a tank up on the cliff. So if C tried to attack here, it'd be really bad news. Oh man, Go.go is moving all his tanks out. Looks like he's going to move his tanks out to try to defend his third base, I guess. I don't know, but if C just happens to scan the front of that natural, he could push through and just totally own that. I mean, he's got so many tanks right now. Okay, it looks like Go.go is getting some tanks on the cliff to try to hold that off, and probably nothing exciting is really going to happen here other than them shooting at each other. So right now, both players, looks like Go.go at least is going for his third. Oh, he's actually sneaking a bunch of tanks out behind the contain. So again, that's probably why we see a lot more of the popularity of the vulture builds here, just because there's so many different paths you can take on this map. It makes containing really kind of hard to do and almost completely ineffective. I mean, we saw this in the game Nada played against Frozine, where Nada just kind of got contained. Well, I don't know if it was Frozine or Kanata, but Nada basically got contained and just started sending units around the contain just because there's so many other pathways. And that's exactly what Go.go's doing here. I don't know what he's going to try to do with these tanks. Like, what do you think he's going to try to do with these tanks? Is he going to send up a counter attack, a contain, or attack, or what?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing he can do really is trying to cut off reinforcements, but I think really Go.go's playing the map just so much better than C. I think C's, playing, in general, I think he's playing smarter. I mean, playing a standard TVT game better, but Go.go with the vulture play and with his early third base with the vulture sneak, I think Go.go's really playing the map just way better than C is, and I'm kind of surprised to see for C not having as much practice. And I know he's been playing Pro League, and he's also losing some tanks there. And now C realizes that Go.go not only has a siege setup, but siege on the high ground. And I think it's kind of funny that although C had the contain setup, C's building his third CC in his base, while Go.go actually snuck a CC out and SCV out, and Go.go's already got his CC up and running. And Go.go's SCV count is just huge. I mean, he's got 6 factories, 3 machine shops. Now that gas pumped in, he's just going to be able to produce a huge amount of siege tanks. And as we see, C only on 2 machine shops, so Go.go's definitely going to catch up on siege tank counts, and all those little pod shots he's taking, trying to hit his reinforcements on tops and with the contain, definitely catching Go.go up. And although I don't think the early CC really made that much of a difference, I think Go.go's play really, he's just kind of separating the game and definitely getting ahead, and C's really going to pick up the pace here. He's going to need to if he wants to take this game.
Yeah, Go.go is, I think, in a huge economic lead right now. C is doing well with these tank pushes, but it's not going to make a huge impact. Once Go.go gets above that high ground and C just up there, it's going to totally cut off any ability for C to advance further. And Go.go is still moving up, and he's going to cut off even more reinforcements here. He's actually been able to stall C's third base. I mean, this is really huge. Go.go's had his third base up forever now, and C still isn't down. So it just shows how how well Go.go is playing the map, and how really C is failing to understand how this map plays out. I mean, the contain that he set up was basically done nothing at all for him. In fact, it probably hurt him, because if he hadn't had that contain set up, he wouldn't have just been moving tanks carelessly across the map, and he wouldn't have lost 3 tanks earlier. Okay, so C's got to send out a whole bunch of units here, almost catching in mind with his tanks. He's got to send out a whole bunch of units here just to secure that third base. Finally going to get it up. Probably still on 2 machine shops, while Go.go's been mining from the third gas all this time, and he seems to get a huge tank count. He's starting to get vultures already. I mean, sorry, he's starting to get dropships already. I don't think C has even started his starport, and if he has, it's just come up now. So Go.go taking a huge lead in this game. really doing it through good play. No luck there at all. So well done by go.go. It's kind of surprising me so far.
Yeah, and this is kind of the play that I guess is really, it's really kind of C style play. I mean, he opened up real strong, and it just seemed like he really, I mean, now he's producing vultures, and now he's losing all these tanks here, and C just cannot get that base up, and now go.go has the ramp secured, at least I believe, and I mean, just barely with those 3 tanks, and now C is actually switching back to vultures. I mean, usually it's starting off with vultures and transitioning into Goliaths, but C is, I guess, second-guessing himself and trying to regain map mobility somehow with these vultures, but, you know, he's not going to be able to do it. He doesn't have the advantage, he doesn't have the factory advantage, he doesn't have the base advantage, and it looks like go.go actually with a few drop ships out. Yeah, so he's got, you know, it's enough to at least try and harass this third base here. And it looks like, you know, it's hard to tell with the bottom right. I can't tell with the mini-maps. There's 3 of them going on there. But it looks like go.go's actually has, for the most part, oh, actually, he's going to lose that contain now. But go.go had the C's third base. So, I mean, go.go is going on his 4th already. And, yeah, excellent mind taking out all those tanks. Good Vulture Micro from C. But go.go is going to be able to start going in dropship production. And go.go can actually, with the 4th gas secured, he can start producing off of 6 factories and 2 starports, as well as upgrading, where C is going to have to be second-guessing himself whether he wants to continue producing dropships, you know, start at least, I don't know about continue, even start. And go.go actually moving up here trying to break this contain. There's no way C can hold this. You know, he's been separated from these forces too long. And C actually, with some reinforcing vultures there, go.go didn't commit very many troops there. He really didn't drop. I guess C kind of had some more reinforcing tanks there, but that containment's still getting spread out, and I can't tell what's in the middle there. I think that's just mine, so I think go.go is actually going to be able to push real far here with this force, and his reinforcements are just going to come at such a faster rate, not only because of those increased factories and gas, but because he's got the dropships and he has way more mobility. Now, see how fast he can push up with those.
Yeah, I mean, C just now starting dropships, but as far as that containment break, it was good for go.go to break that, but he lost way more units than C there. I don't think he really controlled it that well. I saw a lot of tanks and vultures and Goliaths go down. For C's only those 5 tanks and a few vultures. But anyway, I mean, go.go either way, just in a huge lead this game. I mean, C just now getting the 3rd up. I mean, go.go's almost getting his 4th up at the same time. He's got a huge fleet of dropships already. He's got 5 dropships. So he's going to get these dropships into C's 3rd base. When he drops that 3rd base, he's going to do a lot of damage here. I mean, he's going to slow C down even more. C not only did he get his 3rd gas really late, but now that he's gotten it, he's only been able to mine it for a couple of minutes before it's immediately getting taken out again. I mean, C's got his army close by here, so he's not going to lose the base. But, you know, any mining time he loses is huge now because go.go going off 4 gas. Actually, a really good hold there by C with the tanks under the cliff, so not much losses. And go.go losing 3 dropships, which was pretty poor play. So it looks like C is starting to climb back in this game, doing some damage at least with that failed drop by go.go, and with the fact that go.go just lost so many tanks trying to break that contain. But I mean, running off of 4 shops now, still definitely in a huge economic lead by go.go.
Yeah, even though, you know, I think this is kind of a very strange battle. We have C who's playing better mechanically and go.go playing better strategically. I mean, you saw just in that break, and go.go just trying to push forward with these units. I mean, just moving units into siege tanks here, and he's really slowly handing this game back to C, and I still think go.go has a huge advantage, but he really needs to compose himself more, which I think C is doing a lot better. And go.go with a 5th gas online, but C is moving out now, and he just can't keep up with reinforcements. But if go.go keeps throwing his units away and C takes another base, I think C can definitely come back in this. And as we see, go.go's previous dropship advantage now pretty much nullified, and it looks like C is actually taking the base above go.go's. I wouldn't call that go.go's second natural or anything, but it's still extremely close. I mean, you can access that base just by clearing that temple. So really manly move there from C, and I think those are some vultures from C, and C's going to do some harassment on these SCVs, although I'm sure go.go's mineral supply is fine. As you see, C is focusing on the SCVs, on the gas, and now go.go using the 2 dropships that he has and dropping. There we go. For a second there, I thought he only had 1 tank in those, but it looks like go.go actually isn't. Yeah, and he isn't producing any more dropships. He's still only got 1 starport off of his fourth gas coming online, which is, yeah, it's flashing, but he doesn't have any more. I mean, you should be able to produce from at least 2 starports now, and, you know, he's still only got those 2, and he looks like he just started dropship production.